What's happening, everybody? There we go. Give a second for everybody to come on. Brother Ray. Trying to get that right angle there so you guys can see everything. Let's see here. All right. Come on, one last little movement. There we go, good enough. What's happening, everybody? Let's see who we got in the house. If you would say where you're from, I'd appreciate it. Looks like we mainly got all familiar faces on here tonight. We got Brother James, Johnny, Nolan, Lloyd. Fat Lack in the house. Sabatini Custom Paint. Brother Dale. Martin, Randy, Lamuel, Manuel, Lisa, Joe, Brother Jim, Larry, Chris Butcher in the house. Rudy, of course, in the house here. Brother Vince in the house. And Ray Chapman, very good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing good. Brother JR. Travis Toons, Johnny, let's see, Steve Mora, Hook to Learn to Fish, Brother E. Brown in the house, Christopher Cisneros, Rio Rancho, appreciate you, brother. LV Customs, Kansas City, Missouri, Curtis, Louie, Walter, Gary, definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely wanted to, so today, kind of doing something a little different. You know me, I'm usually the silver. We're going to try to be doing some different stuff. Usually I'm the silver flake guy. So, I'm going to grab that black one. So just kind of wanted to see, you kind of see right here, what we got here is, of course, board's already sanded ready. And of course, you know, today I shot 2 boards, one black, and I kind of made it gold, and then I shot the holographic flake over it. I'm going to turn up the light in here real quick, but I'm going to have to, just so you can see what it looks like. Bear with me a second. Hopefully you guys get to see what I see. So I just turned up the light in the garage, and then I got another light. So it's going to go black for a second. So you can see the one was a black base. This other one was a gold base. And this is with the gold holographic flake. Brother Cordell in the house. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, and I can kind of see it. I'm looking on the screen. You guys should be able to see it pretty good. Man, it just gives a real cool effect. You want to hit the light back, Rudy? No trick though. So turning the light back on, and then, so like I say, one, ooh, we'll have to turn these back on. And then, let me get these lights back on. There we go. And of course, one was black base. One was, tilt them around. I know I should have moved them around. Hopefully you guys were able to see it though. And of course, this one is, of course, the gold base with the holographic gold flake over it, already sanded and ready. And, what do you call it? You know, I just kind of made like a gold, kind of regular gold base. It was like a kind of a sandish metallic, and I added in some orange and gold toner to it to kind of just for a base, you know, for the flake behind it. But of course, you know, we're gonna do it, and of course, you know, it's when it's cleared and you got the lights up, and it's just like, man, that holographic just really pops. And of course, I was really never into that stuff. And of course, I seen Brother Randy from Colorado do a piece. He did like a car, you know, we were talking about, I know he was on here too even. It was like a Ford Taurus. He did, you know, like, you know, some root beer brown, some tangerine orange, some golds. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Root beer brown over this, tangerine orange, and candy gold. And did want to show you guys, of course, the board cleared from last week. Man, last week that was pretty long. You know, it's like, man, you know, I look back, I'm like 3 hours and 40 minutes. I was like, that's crazy. And of course, you know, it's because I'm trying to answer some questions and do those things, which I mean is good. But of course, I want to be a good steward of your time too. And of course, this is what we did last week. Of course, the ribbon, you know, this style, kind of shading just along the edges of the tape versus taping it up. You know, I kind of broke down the whole skid mark, as I call them, from your simple to your tilted to your kind of beveled, black this way, white this way, to where this, a little bit more simple, the three, real cool. And then, of course, these were added in the black, and you could do just about anything, you know, with those. So, definitely, yeah, definitely, my brother Fat Lack. I appreciate it, man. Definitely, if you guys would, please hit the like button. That helps me out. And subscribe if you haven't. And, of course, I see mainly everybody on here. There's a few people new, but mainly got family on here. Same thing, of course, everybody's family. Brother Curtis, pretty stuff. So, and then I just want to say too, I know quite a few people on here. I know Brother Chris Butcher, he had a bike in the show in Cincinnati, I think, this weekend. Man, it got first place award. Man, definitely congratulations on that, brother. That's definitely a blessing. You guys continuing to share what you're working on is always a blessing, man. I mean, really. It's a blessing to see what you guys are doing. You know, I can't tell you, I appreciate it, you know, sending what you're working on. And definitely, like I say, supporting the website's huge. And of course, like I told you guys, I'm going to be kind of showing every week. I'm not going to try to take up too much time. But, you know, wanted to share, you know, some of my work. And of course, this was issue 1998, the August issue. Way cool. At the centerfold in this one. This is Bobby Madrid's Monte Carlo. Way cool. Hopefully you guys are able to see it. Lots of work in this paint job. You know, did this. This was back, literally did this one about 96 is when I did this. And like I say, this is 98 when it made it in the magazine. And, you know, very blessed. Same thing to be, you know, Budweiser of the month. You know, of course, this magazine's getting ripped up a little bit. But it was the Budweiser of the month, which was huge. And, of course, you know, it was, man, candy magenta, some purples. Real cool. This was a favorite of a lot of people back in the day. Of course, and it's backwards. So everything is backwards. Let's see. That's a good one. So let me flip it. So the screen is backwards, of course. That's weird. So hopefully you guys get to see it. And of course, man, it was cool too. Elliot Gilbert, he put me in here. Rob's paint jobs are so psychedelic that they're illegal in parts of Tennessee. You know, I thought that was funny, Elliot. But like I say, this one would always, it never got lowrider of the year. It would always get second, like at the Vegas show. You know, of course, it'd get first here, Denver, places like that. But like I said, it's blessed to have the pullout, you know what I mean, of that one. So I just wanted to share some of the work there. Like I say, it's kind of hard, I know, to see some of the detail. But wanted to share that with you guys. And then, like I say, yeah, that's the last piece. Man, and right now, I wish I had a picture to show you guys. There is being circulated. I don't got time to dig it out though. Man, there's a Beretta. There's a Beretta that I did back in 95. And, you know, I did it for Fernando here in Albuquerque back then. And he was murdered. And the car got sold to George. And then it got sold to somebody else. And then it got confiscated by the DEA. And then it got auctioned off. And somebody had it for sale like 2 months ago for $25,000. And man, it's just crazy. All of a sudden, the car ends up in a junkyard last week in California. So I don't know. Hopefully, you guys can see it. We'll wait for this to pop up. But it was a Beretta I did back in 95. Like I say, hopefully you guys are able to kind of see it. Man, right now it's in a junkyard out there in California. Like you pull it, it's crazy. Just crazy. The car was, all gold undercarriage. And it's been out there for a week. And of course, people have been taking parts off of it. And it's just sad. And like I say, this one had a bunch of ribbons, real crazy. You know, this would have been, like I say, 95. Real wild style. It's not everybody's taste. You know, just like some of my work, I tried to do every paint job different. You know, to where it wasn't the same thing back then. So there would be square lines. There would be, just super crazy twisted. And, to where just things, each job had its own personality. And just trying to come up with new stuff back then. And today we're going to be doing, I'm going to put on here blessed in the middle. So we're going to be doing that. Yeah, did you get to see it, Manuel? The pic on Facebook was sad. It shows, I don't know if you guys see then and now. And like I say, I wish I had something else to show. Man, it's just so sad. It's like, man, to see. In fact, let me wipe one more time. It's already been sanded and wiped, but just in case any contaminants. Hope everybody's doing good. Man, I finally put in the order Friday for all of the clear, silver, intercoat clear, reducer, all of those things. And the guy said I should be seeing it in 3 weeks. So I'm hoping that's 3 weeks from a few days ago. And so I'm excited. It's a big adventure. You know, I definitely appreciate everybody that's going to support me. Like I say, I'm pretty excited. So, of course, this is just some low tack cut with cut with the Cameo 4. And of course, you could put it anywhere. You know, I mean, if you wanted to put it this way, if you wanted to tilt it, of course, I'm just going to eye it. Going to right in at least the middle, as much of a middle as I think. So everywhere that blue is will be silver, of course. Yep, I love that early 90s pick, like the Toyota. You had 13.7s to put on everything back then, yep. Man, and it was just a different time. You got to think, man, the 90s, let me tell you, late 80s, man, it was cool because, I mean, whatever new car came out, brand new cars, they slap 13s on it, juice it, even if it's front wheel drive, man, juice it. I mean, brand new, like Alvin's Ram, if you guys remember that blue Ram, right when those Dodge Rams, that new shape came out, and, you know, that would have been literally 95. You know, it was just huge, brand new off the showroom floor, and would slap Dayton's on it, juice it, paint it. It was a different time, you know what I mean? People, brand new cars, of course, all the Toyotas, the Maximas, 13s, you know, with the Pirellis, with the BFGs. So now, of course, I'm going to go around real quick. Just do the border. 1/4 inch. I mean, totally different time, like I say. Brother Richard, what's happening? Do you have that board for sale already that you're doing tonight? Not yet, my brother. This will be a real nice combo. Like I say, root beer brown, tangerine orange, and candy gold over this holographic flake. Of course, around the border. Yep, 13s are still popping. That one there just sold out. So, cutting the edges. Back to that. Man, and that is sad. It's backwards. Man, I'm going to flip the camera because that is annoying. Okay. Come on, baby. No technical difficulties. Get this bad boy lined up here. There we go. We're back facing the right direction. Let's see here. No other front wheel drives around Florida at the time. Rocking white walls before anyone else. Okay, boom. Now, of course, the usual, I'm gonna go around the border, mask it up. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. John Cerno, what's happening, my brother? For sure, hit me up, my brother. There's a link, everybody, on this. There's always a link in the description too, for you guys that don't know, that haven't ordered before. I'm just trying to add stuff all the time, and then definitely go. I finally jarred up all of the flake. You know, I got literally, I mean, orange, gold, orange, the purple, red, really nice red, green, like all your colors that you need if you're trying to do colored flake. A bunch of shades of blue. Real nice. Here's like a darker blue, like a midnight blue. This would be more like a royal blue, oriental bluish. And then like kind of a sea blue. Oh yeah, purple. I already got purple up there. But I added then the silver. I added it's right here. Sorry. Magenta. A real nice magenta. And then of course holographic silver too. Really nice. I haven't added all of them on there, but there is the majority. Like the gold, the silver. Thank you, Rudy. Boom, boom, boom. So I added those on there. I only have the 6-ounce jars on there right now, and I do have 4-ounce jars. I just haven't had time to add them. I was lucky to even just take pictures of and put them in the jars finally a few days ago. Just got so much going on. So I'm gonna try to kind of do kind of a wild style part 2. Kind of what we did with that one that I did, the pinks and the purples. We'll see how it works out tonight. And so I know I definitely need to do that, Manuel. Yep. What size of flake are you using? This one right here, Christopher, is 0.008. Man, I appreciate it, my brother. Thanks for ordering the Mylar stencils. Appreciate it. Brother Cordell, my first car was a neon House of Color Sunset Pearl with 17s. That's what I say back then. It didn't matter if it was a neon, a Maxima, a Camry, a Sentra. I mean, back then that was the thing. All that's coming back in too. I wonder if they sell the BFGs and the Pirellis, the 13s. Brother Mark. Let's see it, brother. Hey, brother Rudy, Mark said. So we're going to kind of just be winging it tonight. Same thing. Make that a little bit smaller. Of course, you know what? Let me... Once the tape gets kind of too stretched when you're doing these turns, man, you just gotta literally trash it. Definitely. Brother Sabatini, brother laid down some Vanderslice flake over black, a couple boards, and they came out phenomenal. I appreciate that, brother, really. And thank you too for sending pics of what you're working on too, brother. Really good. Appreciate you guys. Happy Thursday. What's happening, Mr. Wim? Brother Jaime. Like I was saying, on these turns too, if you have to do them several times to get your turns the way you want them, it is what it is. And the only problem is, like I tell you guys, it's sad when you know, the tape will kind of, how do I put it? It ends up kind of bent when you stretch it a little too much, some of these turns. And what's sad, if you have to literally redo the whole line, you got to kind of go back, which is kind of sad. So you want to try to get it like right away. Like I say, and it's so easy to get some square wobbles in some of those turns. And it'd be nice if they just flowed right away, and they do sometimes. I mean, you can just like swing it right around, but then you'll get square weeble wobble. You know what I mean? And that's real important to try to really go back and try to get rid of some of that weeble wobble. Brother Michael Legs in the house. Tom Wells, Texas, peace and blessings. Man, nice board that you did too, my brother Michael. Really nice, brother. Thank you for sharing. Like I say, we're kind of doing a slight part 2 of that pink and purple sign with a little bit of a different twist. So I'm going to kind of leave this. I'm going to tear this. I'm going to leave some length because I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing yet. And like I say, don't beat yourself up too when you're doing this. And I already know some of you guys have untaped everything and started over. I mean, that's just what it is. That's the whole process, the whole art process that we go through. And like I say, and of course it is good to, I mean, if you got to move something to try to get the turn towards a little more natural, to get that turn in. Always want to work comfortable. Like I say, personally, I wouldn't even be working on a table. Like I tell everybody in the class, I'd rather have it on my lap or have it on something that can turn. And of course, sometimes when it turns too much and you're not able to stop it, I forget who I was talking with. It might have been even Brother Mark or somebody. We were talking about something that turns and you can lock it and stop it. So I'm going to come in with that right there. Now I'm going to come in with the 1/8 inch masking tape. And this one, let me see. So I'm going to actually start over here and work my way this way. Like I say, I'm still not sure what I'm doing exactly right here yet. So, like I said, I'm going to try to get this kind of out the way a little bit. And then I'm going to keep a little length here. Like I say, and then now, since this is this way, like I say, I'm still going to mess with this area, but I'm keeping some length there. And then I'm going to get this up out the way there. Ooh, and of course that came undone there, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to move these back over here. In fact, I'm going to start that over. I end up with a lot of tape on my leg. All the tape I tear off, I usually stick to my pants. Okay, so back to this. So you don't have that problem again there. And then like I said, I'm gonna lift this back over here. Same thing just to get it out the way for right now. Till I figure out what I am doing right there. Like I say, you could start, we could keep this fat, and I'm trying to narrow it back down to where it meets down here. And of course, it's going to take a few times to where I'm happy with the spacing. And of course, there's no rules to this, no wobbles. That's almost good, but I still see a few little. Let me tell you, sometimes, man, you can just turn it, works out right away. And then other times it's like, man, you got to do it over and over. And then sometimes you got to tear it off and just take a second, come back to it. See, I'm still seeing a little bit of a wobble in there. Now I'm going to turn it to where I can see it. Good. One more time right there. I'm going to basically run that right along that line right there. Kind of like I always say, try to keep a ½ inch. And then same thing, I'm going to put this a little bit this way. I'm going to do the same thing, fat. If it takes you a few times, it takes you a few times to get that shape that you're trying to achieve. Like I say, man, let me tell you, Brother Tunes, for sure, man, you talk about cutting 2x4s and putting them in between each spring. Man, I remember putting at least four or more a few times in the Cadillac. And of course, I mean, sometimes that's what you'd have to do emergency just to get home, you know what I mean? I remember me and my kids went camping, and my actual caddy, that's the two colors now, it was of course green back then, man, just so we could take it to the mountains. And this is with 13s. I literally put 2x4s in between each spring. It was in 4-wheel drive mode. So now it's just me trying to get the curvature I want. I'm trying to basically, that's what, when you're doing this kind of style, man, this round, it's a lot harder than trying to do just square designs, man. Way harder. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it again. Rudy, if you could, those light things, if you could, just the cord, just to get them out the way a little bit. I'm gonna do this right here, and then of course I'm gonna tear this. I wanna keep enough extra right here just till I figure out what I'm doing. I'm gonna kind of go back. Like I say, you want to go back over it. And of course, let me see. Do I have my card? Like I say, a good idea. A lot of times, like I say, gift card, credit card. Go back over it. Just to kind of get it down real good. That helps out. Now, it's back to this. What am I doing right here? So, I'm going to undo this. Try to figure out what exactly I'm doing right here. So let me see. I'm gonna mess with this one first. I'm gonna swing it in a little bit tighter. Okay. Same thing here. Come back. Okay. A nifty razor blade. Man, thank you, my brother, Tommy. I appreciate you, my brother. Let me tell you, amazing lines, Rob. I always learn something new when I watch your live, man. Let me tell you, you guys in it, man. What's sad? I think Brother JR tried to put like his the link to go follow people on Instagram. I don't know if anybody knows on here a way to do that, like at so and so, you know, whatever it is, you know, like Rob Mander. If you want to, you know, which I do, man, go follow Tommy. Even if you could type in the basic thing, Tommy, of your Instagram. And I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I know JR tried to type it in and it wouldn't let it like put like a link to go like so people would know his Instagram to go follow. Man, this man is doing some crazy, you know, I've bragged on him before, doing some cool sculptures over at the Kansas University. I'm talking like amazing big Aztec pieces, all flaked out with patterns. We're talking intricate. Just even the shape alone is just crazy, let alone the paint scheme on these things. You literally got to go follow this guy. Literally. You know me and the literally. So let's see if I'm happy with that. Right there, the way that looks. So then here, I'm going to finish this. That way we can figure out. So this one here, same thing. I'm going to keep it right there just for a second. And then I'm going to come back with, we'll see how this looks. I'll probably have to do it a few times. So honestly, let me do at least this for right here first. We'll kind of space it across that as much as possible there. going to swing this up this way. You move this out the way. No, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Man, if you could, Tommy, try to put in your Instagram handle on there. Like I say, I don't know what. That way people can go follow you at least so they can type it in. So now I'm going to move this just so I can get my curve right. And I'll end up coming across here. So let me see that just for a minute. Let me turn this back. Now I definitely got to figure out what I got going on here. So I'm going to lift this back for a minute. Curve this kind of to the curvature I want. And then I'll curve this back up. Okay. Yep. Okay. Okay, so boom there. Then back to that, especially on stuff like this. And you should go back, like I say, with the credit card, kind of go over it a little bit just to kind of keep it down. Okay. Back to this, moving. This one I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing yet. So let me see, and then that's gonna go. Okay. Going about a ½ an inch off of that. And then back to that. You know, it's hard to do those circles when you're doing them that way. It's better to go to where you can curve it. You can continue with the curve in a comfortable position. Like I say, I'm still not 100% sure. Like I say, this is wild style. I'm gonna have to turn it back so I can see if that's even the move I want to make. Keep that there for a minute. Basically what I'm doing here is just literally trying to figure out what I'm doing. So many thoughts go through my head, you know, to go that way straight, to swing it in, to swing it back out. Tear that there. So we'll see there. Let me see now. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure if that's what I'm keeping. So I'm gonna swing this back this way, so it's comfortable to work on this way. This is where you go. I don't think so, little buddy. Let me see here. So let me try to get this what I want real quick here. Keep that just there for a minute. And then I'm gonna swing this back around. Definitely, brother. Have a good night, my brother. Definitely. Hello, Rob. Love your work. Definitely, Morbis. Hearing your testimony. I appreciate it, brother. That means a lot. And I just thank you, too, for all the feedback. I know, like, I got pretty personal last week. And I'm pretty transparent, man, with my life. I don't try to hide anything. I mean, it literally is a testimony. And it's like, man, and like I say, I shouldn't even be here, honestly. And I am for a reason and a purpose. I know a lot of us on here, it's like, man, we've put ourselves through some crazy stuff. And God is good. Like I say, and I definitely appreciate, like I say, all of the positive feedback. Okay, liking that a little bit better. Back to that, swing it around here. This is what's crazy too, you know, Thursday night, the pressure is on. If I was just doing this piece, man, it would probably take forever. Let me tell you, literally forever. So you'd move it, get frustrated, move it again. Okay, so then now I'm gonna tear that there. I'm gonna come off this right here. In fact, let me, before I do that, let me see. Okay, I'll start cutting into that. And let me twist it back again. In fact, let me cut this. Right there, you want to be careful too. I mean, no matter what, it's going to kind of cut into the letter. You just don't want to cut into it too much. So it splits open. Boom. Okay. Then this here too, same thing. Of course, it's kind of where the lettering is, so it ain't going to matter too much. But this is back where you could have an over or an under. And of course, I'm going to utilize, since this one went on top, we'll cut it to make it easier in the end. So this one's going to go underneath that one. And then, let's see. So I'm going to do that there. Okay. Let me try a couple things. Of course, you know what though? Wait up, let me park that there for a minute. I want to make sure. Some of this, man, you got to literally know what you're doing in other areas before you can do certain things. Like if I was going to turn this into this, I better make sure I'm happy with this, because then it's going to screw up. You're going to have to go back, fix this one in order to fix this one. You know, am I literally happy with this one here? Do I want it to turn a little bit more? You know what I mean? And of course, some stuff you get picky. I mean, sometimes you get so picky with yourself. It's like, man, it's where it's like, how do I put it? It's like, man, beat yourself up. Of course, we're our worst critics. You know, you want things to look right, and it's like things are not exactly the way you want them. And it's like, man, sometimes it's like, man, it's like just, it looked good the way it looked that way, and then you're going and changing it. And then sometimes you'll go through all of that, and it's like, and it messed up so much of an area because you changed it again. For you to go back, it's like, man, it's like, and of course, you know, it is back to that whole artist being really picky with yourself, you know what I mean? And like I say, this one I kind of do want to go and then kind of fatter to here. So that's why I say this would be a perfect example. And that looked good right there too. I could have left it and probably should have left it, but of course, you know me. So what I'm going to do here too, because I want a little more length, I'm going to actually cut right here. Because some people, we could make it, and then you could kind of tape on top of the tape. But it's back to that, you get a little weeble wobble. So I'm literally going to cut that right there. I'm going to kind of come over here. I'm going to piece it in a little bit because I'm going to want it to go a little bit longer. Because I kind of went out straight. And like I say, half this is just in my own head. You know, it's things where it's like, you guys are like, man, it looked good, leave it alone. Boulevard Designs, Brother Greg in the house. Thanks for sharing what you're working on too, Greg. Appreciate you, brother. So same thing here. I want this to go towards barely getting. Move my razor blade. Fact. Uno más. Got some weeble wobble. Okay, let's see. I want it to gradually get a little bigger. It hooks right into that. Okay, one more time. Okay, let me tear that up there. Now this here, man, it still's got some choppiness right there. I'm gonna keep it there though. And the same thing, I'm gonna come across here. Barely, I don't wanna cut through. And then this one, man, there's a couple things could do. This one I could literally come I mean, most of the time you would just cut it there, call it a day. Or you could where it does a point like that. And then back to this where I overlapped it. Come back here. Like I say, that's ain't gonna matter because it's overlapped over the lettering. Adam Smith. Definitely, brother. Brother Brian, such a blessing. Do this like I look forward. Man, I appreciate it, Brian, always. And thank you too. Same thing for sharing. And of course, this is always the hardest. This wild style is like always the hardest. These turns are always the hardest. Because man, it'll sit there and bother you if you don't got them. You know, if they're choppy or square. And you know, it's almost like doing flames. You always want the points. You always want the points to go point, and then you want them to slowly narrow, till they get fatter and fatter. You don't want them to get skinny, then fat, then skinny and fat. Of course, it just depends on what you're doing. Of course, man, we'll have to do some flames too. I mean, that's literally what I started out by doing. And then the mini trucks came out. The mini trucks and all of that, and started doing kind of that the grafting and broken triangles breaking away, and then did my first lowrider, and like I say, just fell in love. Was able to really express myself. So then this. So I'm going to tear this one off here till I figure out if that's what I want. And then back with this one here, it's getting caught up down here. Let's swing it in right here. Keep it right there for a second. Man, and imagine this is one deal. I haven't even got to break out the J-tape. That's to the skinny. Let's see. Let's see here. I want to do a fat from that point. Okay, this is all freestyle. We're just freestyling it. This one here. Gonna come off the edge. This over here, I know I'm probably getting up the edge. Yep, exactly, Brian. Evan, my flaking t-shirt came in. Yeah, buddy. In fact, we'll have to be doing a giveaway. And I know Rudy's venturing into a whole thing too. He's going to be selling motorcycle, literally spoke rims, white walls for the motorcycles. What are they? What size? 16s, 22s, 21s, 18s. Yeah, any size they want, he can get. So, and of course, the motorcycle time's going to be coming real soon. You know, bars. What else did you have? You had some other the
I have some sprockets.
sprockets,
The chrome pulleys.
Chrome pulleys.
Stretch fender.
Stretch fenders. So I'm gonna come in right here. I'm gonna lift this one back just a tad till I swing this one around the way I want it. Get it back a little bit more.
Not big jobs, bikes.
Yeah, there you go. Back, let me swing this one out. Tear this one off right here for right now. Grab this one back again. Try this. I'm going to do that. And then this one too here. I'm going to come back, same thing, especially some of these tight. You want to kind of go back, kind of tuck it in good. And I always cut towards the inner side to where if it's going to stretch, it's got room to stretch. So I got to say, you know, some of those turns, you know, you want to try to keep it as loose as possible. But man, sometimes, and let me tell you too, it just matters too, like, how do I put it? Sometimes just what you got going on, how much you're stretching it. Could be if you're all stressed out, if you're all relaxed personally. Today's been one of those pretty long day personally. Brother Jim said he'll be hitting you up next time. Start my next build. Definitely appreciate the support, Jim. And definitely, man, let me tell you, man, that bike came out really nice, brother. Really nice. And it's back to that. Go check out, you know, of course, with Jim Crafton's custom paint. You can literally go to his channel, go like and subscribe to his channel. He's doing some nice stuff too. Almost everybody on here is, like I say, go subscribe, brother Steve, Courtney, the Scale Customs. You know, any of you guys put with like Boulevard Designs, brother Greg. I mean, we could go up the line here. Man, go support each other. You know what I mean? Definitely go support each other. That's a huge thing. Okay, so boom. I think, am I 100% happy? No, but we can move on. I don't want to keep you guys here till tomorrow. So now I'm going to get, come in with some tan. So let me see here. And of course, you could go in and outline, same thing. You could go in and outline this, you know, with some 16th inch, with some, you know, you could go in. What up, my brother John Martin? Appreciate you, brother. You could go in, you know, to kind of what we usually do, kind of outline it with some 16th inch, some 8th inch, whatever it may be. Like I said, I really don't, on the lives, I really don't use anything, even the 16th a lot of times, because, man, we just ain't got time sometimes. You see, this is like a major little operation just even to do this at times. Miner one, ordered my tape kit and stencil kit earlier. Can't wait to start pulling some lines, man. Definitely, I really appreciate it. Definitely. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the encouragement. It means a lot. Like I said, of course, you know what we're doing tonight. This is just wild style, trying to, like, you know, it's not really anything set. It's literally wild style. Just kind of whatever. There's nothing really, how would you put it? It's not really geometrically what's the good word for it, if you get what I mean? Yep. You know you're gonna outline it. I know. Don't tempt me, bro. Come on, man. Okay, so let me see. So next, though, at least try to figure out what I'm doing for the next one over it. Let me see here. Of course, this is just, we're just gonna wing it real quick. Okay, so let me turn this over here a little bit. Cut that up there. Clear my knife for this. It takes what it takes. There we go, Brother Nolan. Hey, Rob, do you go to the super shows often? Yeah, definitely. I mean, it just depends. Of course, we have the Albuquerque one here. Usually we go to, I mean, you know, I don't go all the time to the Vegas super show, but, you know, we try to make it. But, I mean, it just depends on what's going on. And just like even this year, you know, everybody's asking about classes. And I'm like, man, nothing is definitely set for sure. If there would be anything this year, it's going to be in the fall. It would be September, October, November. And of course, it's election year. So you guys better be prepared for just about everything. Let me tell you. So almost might be waiting till next year. Okay, so we got that there. We might just have that end to where it doesn't really go through. So I might just keep that there. So let me cut this one right there. And we'll see. Same thing. I am going to cut just right here. I'm going to keep that up just to where when I keep moving it. And then I know you guys just had, Tommy, you guys had the World of Wheels over there in Kansas. I know Eric and them, they had a nice setup. The lowrider teacher and my whole Kansas family out there.
Phoenix shows like in 2 weeks, I think.
Oh yeah, the Phoenix show's in like 2 weeks. And we usually go to it too, but man, there's just so much going on. Man, we're starting, we're going to be starting the lowrider bike after school mentorship program again too. It's finally going to be starting up. And I did want to put this out there too. You guys that are in Kansas City area, let me tell you, man, if you're able to volunteer for the Lowrider Bike Club with Eric and Nick and Logan and all of them out there, man, I think they do it on Mondays. Man, they could definitely use help. Man, it's usually, I think, right after school, it's like 3 to 5. 3 to 5. And it's in, of course, Olathe, Kansas, which I know some of you guys are Lawrence. You know, that's a little bit out the way, but man, they could use some mentors over there. I'm telling you, Eric and Nick, you know, Ozzy goes and helps sometimes. You know, they basically build lowrider bikes. It's a mentorship program. The bikes are a tool to really reach the kids. And man, it's just a great program. And through that, Eric, you know, they call him the lowrider teacher. Super blessed, like I say, program. Huge difference in these kids' lives. So I'm going to come there, and I'm not sure yet. Let me see. I want to go a little fatter. Get that turned a little bit. Get this over here. Man, this 1/8 inch is super white. That's the whitest I've ever seen it. It's usually tan. You can tell the difference between the 1/4 inch and the... So I'm going to turn that there. I'm not sure if that's what I want. Boom, boom, boom. They can always use mentors. Like I say, it's only 1 day a week, I think. They do it, I think on Mondays. You have to hit up Eric. Like I say, all the Kansas peeps that do have time on a Monday from 3 to 5. They have a lot of kids that take this program. So same thing here. I'm gonna cut this here. Except for let me turn this just a little bit more this way. And then I'm gonna go just keep it kind of going that way a tad. Now usually we would just cut it there and cut it there. Of course, this is like, it's a little add-on. I mean, you can cut that there, and then we can flip this around, and then literally come to it to point. Little tail. And then same with this here. Yeah, Monday 3 through 5, my brother Michael. Yep. Man, I'm telling you, brother, it would be a blessing. You would bless Eric and Nick and them. They are so, let me tell you here, there's a few on here. I'm sure James is still on here. And JR and Rudy, of course, they're mentors here in the Albuquerque. We have like 10 mentors plus all of the, the police department and sheriff sends people to come help out. And so we're like super blessed. Eric and them, like I say, it's literally just Eric and Logan and Nick. And Ozzy goes once in a while. So, man, they would be super blessed for some other volunteers. They be doing the paint on the bikes, spray cans, candy. You know, they be laying out some patterns on the bikes, whatever help. So I cut that one, so that one's going to go underneath. This one, I mean, just for time's sake, I should do the same thing. But I'm going to make this one go over. Like I say, this is extra work when you do this, but it looks super cool. It's just like I say, a little extra work when you're taking it apart, when you're trying to do the shading. Okay. Then this, let me see. So I'm going to probably do that there, in that there, just for a second. We'll keep that there. And then this one, like I say, this is hard. This is like advanced kind of doing this. This is like kind of stepping out of your comfort zone from doing the usual to do this. It's not an easy task. And you get people like, you know, like I say, and everybody's got a different way of doing it. Like Randy, he'll draw it out on a piece of paper. You know, he'll do his like design, and he'll cut it out and kind of put it on. You know, he's got his own little method. And then you got Joe Angel all flaked out. He's got his way of doing it too. You know, and this is kind of his thing. And of course, this style comes, I mean, this style's been out for years, even back 70s, 80s, you know, and a lot of it too, it's like, man, you know, with the, you know, it's got some old English hook and curve to it. You know, you take a little bit from everything. So let me curve this a little bit. Let me see. I want it to go fat, but I want it to meet there. It's almost impossible. You have a vision in your head. Like I say, and I'm going to kind of swing it around here. Make believe it there. So let me go there for a second. Curve this in a little bit more. Okay. Boom. Boom. I'm happy with that right there. Then back to this, you know, what to do, you know, with all these throughs, and this one goes underneath that one and underneath that one. You know, you could twist it however you want to do it. Of course, we'll do, let me see. So I'll do, this is all by choice too. I mean, it's back to that. You know, do I want to take this out to where that point goes through there and it looks like it's going underneath it? You know, do I want to cut out this to where it's going on top of it? And honestly, this one I am going to cut. And back to this, before I move on, I always forget. You know, you kind of do really, I try to kind of go in right there. Because this is stretched. You know, like I said, tell you guys, try not to stretch it. But man, after so many turns, it is stretched. So I am going to cut it right here. Right there. Right there. Right there. Appreciate it, Brother Tunes. So that's going to go underneath there. And then this one, I actually am going to cut to where this one's going to go on top. So I'm going to cut this out right here. Look that out right there. And then this here, it's like, okay. Same thing. I'll do this one will go underneath. Boom. Like I say here, this could have went, you know, this could have did so many different things. I mean, we could go on and on with this. Like I say, it could just be infinite to where we just keep going and going. And so let's see. Let's see, I don't want to get crazy, but not too crazy. I don't want to keep you guys here forever either. It's like one of those things. But we definitely let me see here. Yep. Okay, so absolutely not. Let's see. So the Blessed Stencil, my brother John, is with it's with Cameo 4. It's one of those machines you buy it like they got a Michael's, a Cricut machine. And of course, I had to hand cut the out border because I haven't figured out to outline yet quite in the software. It's pretty basic. So I cut that out. So everything blue will be gold, of course. But I did cut out. This is a low tack material. Okay, so let me just see here. Doesn't help when the board's moving a whole bunch too. That's the only problem. When you're doing this style, man, versus doing lines, you can just do it. Board's not moving, The Bob Ross back in the day. Happy trees. There you go, my brother Michael. And basically, too, even this is trying to do kind of like we did the layers, but with the squares and all that. This is layering, but with circles, with turns. So it's like one goes into each other, kind of like that. Like the one over here, kind of goes into this layering, but a different kind. You know what I mean? Kind of ins and outs as well. Nothing is symmetrical, if you get me. Here. I'm gonna cut this one up just for a minute there. Let's see. Keep that there for a second. Okay. Let me see there. Let me turn this way to. Okay, let me try that real quick. We'll see. So I'm going to keep that there for a minute till I cut it. This is back to that. Now you could do just about anything and it would look cool. But it's like, does it personally... What's happening, my brother Dio? Rob, what's the benefit to tan tape have over the vinyl? So, man, how do you put it, my brother? So, you know, the vinyl, like for what you're doing, for a lot of those, man, that for the sculptures you're doing, I mean, you're way better off sticking, my brother, with the vinyl because of just all those cracks, crevices, corners. I mean, you can make it happen with the masking tape, but you got to think, you know, you got to think, man, some of that, those shape, it's just too much to stretch and turn. And then, like I told you, a lot of that too, your best thing with that is to get, of course, the heat gun out, you know, and definitely you don't want to overstretch some of that. You want to be able to where you can heat gun some of that. This one, I'm just not happy with that right there. Let me cut this. That's the thing when you're doing this style. It's not like it's a set. Like when you're doing kind of like we did with the blue board. I mean, that's pretty much, you know, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be something similar as you keep on going down the line. This is like, you can just keep going, you know, it's things ain't going to look proportioned right. So you want to keep messing with it. Like I say, I'm one of those, like, man, I like it to get fatter, 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 and then skinny, skinny, skinny. You know, and of course, everybody, there's no rules, but it's like, you want it to be proportioned right. And you know, this is literally like what I said, it's wild style. So, you know, and of course, back to, you know, Tommy with the whole masking tape versus the vinyl. Each thing has its purpose. So if you're doing fades, if you're doing some fades and you're able to go in with some 1/2 inch or whatever it may be, man, that's definitely an advantage to using the masking tape. And trust me, I could do all of this vinyl too. Vinyl takes a little bit more time. I don't know, how do you put it? It's just, a lot of the old schoolers still use masking tape. You know what I mean? And like I say, you know, I put vinyl on the edge. That could have been masking tape too. You know, it's just, like I say, back in the day, we used to do all of it with vinyl. Everything was vinyl, you know, as far as your layout. With the blue 3M, there was not a bunch of options. It was literally blue 3M, vinyl. Some of these areas too, man, you get stuck. It's like, man, it's like, where it's like, okay, what to do in that area? Like I say right here, I'm still like, I'll tear this off just for a minute. Doesn't mean I'm keeping it. Like I say, in some of this too, you could go around and kind of, we could put some of our fades. Rob, is that Orco masking or 831 tape on the Bless sticker? It's actually that Vivid or whatever it's called. It's this right here. But man, it still has some issues at times too. This is just, what do you call it? I think from Amazon. It's pretty cheap. Low tack. Okay, sorry guys, we are in trying to figure it out. So sometimes, man, when you're stuck in a little spot, like I say, even with this, I'm like, man, let's see. And even this, man, I kept seeing, it's like, okay, could have done. Let me see. Let me do this real quick. Usually I put my Velcro on the back of the board to keep it from moving a bunch, but I didn't do that tonight. It does waste so much time when you don't do that. When you're doing it on a table, let me tell you, a lot of time wasted with the board moving constantly, sliding back and forth, especially these turns. You gotta hold the tape real tight to make these turns. I'm going with that. And then this here, I'm gonna come back on this side. I'm gonna cut from this way up against this. Boom. Up against the edge. This way. Boom, I'm happy with that right there. It can get frustrating. So boom, we got that there. And then, let me see. So, David Allen, what's happening? What up, Brother Rob? Just taking lunch. That's crazy. Lunch, man. You and Michael, Brother Legs, and you are the night shift guys, man. It's probably the same thing. Then you got Brother Rudy back here yawning. He's been up since 4 in the morning. Okay, so let's see here. Starting to take some shape. Of course, let me go in. I say we will that's crazy. Okay. All right, let's see here. So I'm going to come in. Just outline it. Same thing, I'll probably end it right there on the outline. Okay, and then here, and same thing, I want to go a little bit skinnier against the edge there. So this board, David, it's the holographic. It's basically kind of sand metallic, tan metallic. I added some orange and some yellow toner to it. And then I flaked it with the holographic flake. It's on the website. Way cool. We're gonna do root beer brown and tangerine orange and gold candy over this. So now let's see. I'm gonna swing here, swing here. We'll do tour. Okay, so that outline there. Then I'm gonna come along this. I'm like doing about a 1/16 of an inch little gap against the edge there for the outline. And same thing here. I'm going to come back and cut it real quick here so I don't start crisscrossing. Boom there. Same thing here. Cut it. Cut it. Swing this around here. And right here, I'll just go right through the middle. This one I'll come all the way to right there. And then this one I could either come in right in the inside. Usually I like to do the outside, in which we could. In fact, this one, let me cut. I will do just, so I'm going to use this just for a guideline against the edge. I'm going to come in, I'm going to cut just right here. There. And then same thing here. And then I'm going to come back around this one here. We'll outline that one. But like I said, on this one, I'm going to outline. But I always like to go with the flow this way. So I'm going to start on this side over here. And I'm going to work my way that way. I'm shaky. If I can do it, you can do it. Shake yourself straight. Go a little bit more. Then I'll swing it around this way and go around the outer edge. And of course, let me cut this over here. And I could do the same thing. You could make it to where it goes to that edge. Or you could do what I just did, but I'll wait till I'm through. Same thing, keep turning it to where it's comfortable to work. Man, if it was just to stay like this and you had to do all these turns, woo, that's a good one. Let me tell you, it's good to be able to turn it. It'd be like, you see all the guys engraving, they got those wheels that rotate to where they can be engraving. And they just turn with the flow. And those, it does seem like they have some type of, I don't know how to put it, like, I don't know if it's a pedal to be able to let it turn. So this here, I am going to cut right there, up against there. And then this one, like I said, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to do what I did over there. I'm going to kind of just use this for spacing. Right there. So I'm going to literally come right here, which, and even that, honestly, you know what? Instead, I'm going to actually, so with this, I'm going to come about right here and I'm going to slowly taper in to a point. Boom. See how cool that looks? It'll be... Okay, and then where else? Okay, we had this kind of crisscross right here, even though it didn't really... Of course, it kind of did. It chopped just the end of that point off a little bit. Okay, where else? Okay, we're good. Good, we're good, we're good. Okay. I know that engraving, man, that's a whole cool... That's definitely a skill set right there. And that's like my brother JR. I don't know if he's still on here. Man, same thing, man. You know, you guys got to see the seed he did for Rudy, the leather, the engraving in the leather. Man, you talk about, you know, if somebody can do that, then they should be able to engrave. You know, it's just like somebody, you know, if they can airbrush, especially faces or anything, I'm sure they could do tattoos. You know, it's just back to that, whatever different tool, draw. I had one of my brothers, Eric, he's been in jail for a long time, just got out last week. He hit me up, he showed me all the artwork that he's doing. He's in a halfway house in Lubbock, and man, you talk about some amazing art, amazing art. I mean, just sick stuff. People don't know the gifts and talents until, you know, you have some time to think about it. Especially, I don't know how many people, man. Eric Cristo Martinez, same thing. Man, he didn't even know he's an artist till he went to prison. And it's like, man, just so cool. Okay, so now, boom. I say I'm getting a little too crazy. Sometimes these in and outs are like crazy, you know what I mean? Let's see here. I'm gonna come just right here. Same thing. Boom. Okay. Same thing here. In fact, let's see there. And I might just go on the inside there. All this stuff does take a bunch of extra time, this outlining, but in the long run it really makes it look a lot more detailed. I'm hoping I got somebody going to be trying to help me abbreviate these videos. I'm going to try to help each other. There was somebody that was on the live too, even that was going to try too, that hit me up on Instagram. I got somebody local that going to try to take these, just take the main parts out of these videos and make it kind of like that one that's 15 minutes. Towards right to the point of everything from start to finish, you know, maybe like this 3-hour or 2-hour live abbreviated down to 15 minutes and with voiceover. Okay, here's what I'm doing here, and then I'm getting the tape here, kind of like the one on that, the one that's got a lot of likes that I did up at Adams. So same thing here. I'm gonna kind of slowly come in to a point there. And then same thing here. I am gonna just snip this right here. Boom. And then the last little outline I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, but I gotta cut here. I always wanna go back and make sure. This thing, I mean, we could take, I mean, this could end up with hours in it, but like I say, I know we're on a time crunch, but I just want to tell you guys, if you're, man, if you do have time to sit there and work on something, to really put your heart and soul into it and some serious time into it, I mean, do it, you know what I mean? And of course, that's got to be out of love for sure. You know, it's hard to, like I say, if I was doing this board aside from the live, in fact, you know what? I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna put this one up against this. If I was doing this aside from the live, man, this would take me so much time. I would have quite a few days into it. When you have the pressures on like this, you got to perform. You know, you just got to do it. You got to make the best of it and still try to, you know, do what you want to do as the artist, but still try to do it in an amount of time to where it's not nothing stupid, but it's still a piece of art, but it's, you know, you're more on a schedule. But definitely, like I say, I'm hoping my brother Marco is going to try to help abbreviate some of these videos. You know, try to see if we can put them into some program and be able to pull out, edit, pull out. Like I say, it would be none of the talking, none of that nonsense. Of course, it's not nonsense, you know, but it would be just the parts. Like me starting, you seeing the board, me taping the outline, me taping the design and voiceover. Okay, so Brother Steve scale. One thing I can't, the hang of the Swiss cheese style. Get the hang of the Swiss cheese. Okay, so and then this one, I'm literally just gonna go right here on this side. And then same thing, I'm gonna, in fact, I'm just gonna chop it there, chop it there. Okay. And we'll call it on that right there. Just gonna add some fades in it. Let's see, so. It's Friday here, but there's a bunch of space that your OCD needs to fill. I know that's laugh out loud. I know that's crazy, brother. I know. I almost feel like stopping on this and doing part 2 next week. You know what I mean? To where we're not shortcutting on this, which we just might. You know what I mean? I think I might, man. We might, let me tell you, this is one thing too. I definitely want to tell you guys, there's been so many jobs that it was time to go to bed, especially in those meth years. Man, should have just went to bed. Instead, you stayed working. You started making mistakes. You know, things that, let me tell you, really get this in your head. Some of those jobs where I've had days and days taping, and then by you not getting sleep and really, how do I put it, getting rest and really resetting your mind, you can make some detrimental mistakes that you'll regret. You know what I mean? And especially like, you know, on complete pattern jobs, it's like, man, there was times where it's like, man, I wish I would have just went to sleep. You know what, this happened and this happened, and it was like a domino effect after a domino effect of things where it's like, man. So, but I think I will. I think tonight I am gonna call it, guys. You know, it's one of those things, man. I'm really liking the way this looks, and I am feeling if I continue, I'm gonna rush instead of taping what we need to tape and add what we need to add. You know, we'll pick this back up next week. You know what I mean? And it is, my brother Michael, it is. I mean, just in general, you know, especially like I say on meth back in the day, it's like, man, and not even on meth, I gotta say, just even, there's been jobs where it's like, how do I put it? Like, so this is some, if you would have just stayed, there's times too where if you would have just stayed working on that car, you could have finished it in 2 hours. And of course, there could be the chance of things happening. And of course, when you come back the next day for you to get going again and get the whole, you know, the whole juju going again, and just to get that flow going, sometimes, you know, that ends up taking what could have took you 2 hours to finish it the night before, ends up taking you a whole day, 10 hours to finish what you could have finished if you would have just kept pushing through. But then at that same thing, pushing through and making some critical mistakes. And of course tonight, I mean, this is just an art project. It's like, you know, what can we, I mean, it is what it is if something happens to it. But like I say, definitely appreciate you guys. Like I say, thanks for supporting the website. It means a lot. Like I say, I'm real excited, man. 3 weeks, I will have 3 different clears for sale. Ones that I truly stand by, high quality, not your generic stuff, but definitely a good price versus the Nike brand and all of those. You know, Intercoat Clear, Silver. You know, of course, you know, I can't start super huge, but starting small, and you know, I did put in a huge order as big as I could for me. And like I say, I definitely appreciate you guys supporting when it does come in. You know, I appreciate you guys, you know, just even supporting, watching. So, you know, let's go out with some prayer too. And I appreciate you guys. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you, Lord. First and foremost, we thank you for waking us up another day, Lord. We thank you for the roofs over our heads. We thank you for the food in our belly that not everybody gets to experience, Lord. We are more blessed than most, Lord. And we just thank you for that. And we do lift up those people that are less fortunate, Lord, that have nothing, Lord. Help us if we're able to help those. You know, if the Lord leads us to do that, I pray that we would do that, even just us to encourage the people around us, especially just our family and the people that's closest to us, Lord. And we help us to lay our burdens down at the foot of the cross, Lord. I know a lot of us, you know, might be going through something here on the live that is just very, very, very hard, just trial that somebody's going through. I pray that you just let them know that you will not leave them or forsake them. And if there's anybody that has never surrendered their life to you, that they would surrender, that they would give their life to you, Lord. And we just thank you. I thank you for everybody on here. I pray blessings over every single person that's on here. And like I say, we ask for forgiveness, Lord, in those areas that we do fall short, Lord. I lift up people on here too for healing. If anybody's dealing with sickness, I lift them up in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. And we just thank you. Like I say, I just lift up all my brothers and sisters that are on the live right now. Whether they're blessed going through trials and struggles or at the top of the mountain right now, we just thank you, Lord, for wherever we're at. So we just give you praise. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Man, definitely love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I know we didn't even do a giveaway today. Sorry about that. We will get you next week. Thank you guys for supporting. Serious. Appreciate you guys. And we'll be back next week, man. This is gonna look way cool. So like I said, I didn't want to rush it. Man, it'll be really nice. And it has been a long day. Thank you guys for hanging in there. Really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And talk to you soon. And thank you for sending the pics and just everything. Appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.